Namaste to everybody. And mm, if possible, include my response. If not all good, I know it's tight. I don't know why you make that judgment about yourself. It's okay. No response is good and no response is bad. The fact that you respond is good. Okay? So the idea of seeking response was that to know uh, where I need to emphasize more and where I need to communicate more and more clarity that I have to give. So please don't be judgmental about yourself, if not good or bad. It is always good. Changed uplifts the rest of the week and keeps clarity regarding purpose. Grateful for live classes, especially during Corona. Satsanga from Swami special. Improve. Discipline. Observing thoughts. Pulse. Perspective. Being more alive to facts. Like to discuss. Okay, that's a big thing. Chidabhasa using mirror example. Discipline. Discipline, refocusing on goal, how this works in Buddhi, Manas definition. Confirm the Buddhi always decides, so it allows, permits the Manas to go where it wants to. Manas cannot guide the behavior itself. Benefit of instruction on how to label type of thoughts, correct, incorrect, imaginary, sleep, memory, etc. Where the chitta in the chariot metaphor, Ratha Kalpana, where is the chitta? How the chitta cloud the buddhi, how buddhi becomes clouded, role of manas and chitta. Discuss that rajas and tamas needed and not bad. Depends on which guna predominates. Is this true? And if sattva dominates, rajas being useful thought into action, tamas useful in that it provides stability. Understood pramana needs to be operated for knowledge to take place. Can give more details, mechanics, think in Tarka Sangra. I think there are so many things, it will take the whole class, I guess. But I'll try to be brief, and then this particular person can contact me directly, and we can discuss in person. Hold on, whether that person is there in the class or not. I don't see that. Oh, there he is. No. Okay, so I think the questioner, the one who has asked for the question, is not there in the class. Guided by Swamiji's teaching, I have learned to observe closer my own mind in its subtleties, how it's always searching for more or commenting or narrating the story of my life. I have learned to create some sort of space between reaction and action, and I have withdrawn expectations on people acting according to my values. I am more open to accept the way things are. So in one word, I have gained objectivity. I have benefited from this, having more energy to focus on my own process, regardless of all the turmoil in the world around me. I'm really happy to know that you are able to be more objective and there is a space in between so that you can convert or hold on the reaction taking place at the level of mind and act what is to be done. That's a very good thing. That's the purpose of study, you know. So, relatively, when you mention, I have benefited from this more energy to focus on my own process, regardless all the turmoil in the world around me. That is asangatvam, relative detachment, freedom. That's a relative freedom. Then slowly you will gain the total freedom. That's a good thing. The freedom is this, that I am unaffected ultimately. Ultimately, I discover that whatever is mithya. Even what you feel is also equally mithya. It's all right to feel pain. It's all right to get hurt. But that's an order. That's a yoga shastra. You see the order, that's how the order is. That's how your programming is. These are vulnerable areas are. And you can work upon, that's fine. And the ultimate, that's a freedom. Accepting the order. That is being objectivity, seeing the Ishvara. And ultimate freedom is that relatively that order or that feeling of hurt is to me. And then you discover it is to mine. I am Asanga. I am free from it. I am the Sakshi. I am pure consciousness. It's okay. Let the mind feel it. That's how it is. Though it's not pleasant, but that's how it is. And you can be free. That's absolute freedom. So objectivity in the awareness of Ishvara, that order is a good thing. It's a process of growth. And that would help you to own up the knowledge faster. More you are objective, more space you have, more you can own up the knowledge, and more the life becomes joyous. You're objective. More the life becomes relaxed. Like in American, you're cool. You become cool. You- so that coolness is freedom, I would say that. Total cool is total freedom. Further change for me would be to grow out of past emotional pain that surfaces sometimes and steals the scene. The victim in me creeps up in the dark. My efforts are focused on reinforcing the new pathways, new samskaras in my mind through cultivating healthy habits and power of will. By doing this, I look for growth to step out of my own personal needs and be able to reach out and contribute to others. It's okay. It's natural. Okay. That past emotional pain would surface. And it surfaces for two reasons. That you might have had that pain for a long time, trying to correct the situation and hope against hope, you work on it. And then before you started study, those things keeps coming back to the mind, and we have generally people become unhappy, more unhappy by remembering the unhappy experiences. There is a pain of the pain, that you one got a pain is object to Ishvara Srishti. But remembering and then complaining about it, that is a pain of the pain. That is a Jiva Srishti. Earlier I had mentioned human mind is one of the best actor, director, producer, dialogue writer, screenplay writer, everything. So your own mind creates the whole situation and you reenact the thing and you speak those dialogues which you could not tell. You express your hurt internally. There is a pain of the pain of the pain of the pain. It's all there. And it surfaces because it's not processed. It's good that you are doing this, cultivating healthy habits, new samskaras in mind. That's true. Guna adhanam. More you have new samskaras, More you cultivate good habits, lesser those things will come out. But then, whenever it comes out, you have to do dosha apanayanam, remove it. Remove means accept it. See that also as an order. Or if you accept it as a karma phala, maybe your prarabdha. That's how it was, and I had to face it. Yeah, and one way or other, in this life, human life, there will be some dukkha. Whether we think that it is like as a feeling, and when you have a headache, you feel it's better to have some cold rather than headache. And when you have cold, you feel it is better to have diarrhea than the cold. When you have diarrhea, you feel it's better to have some back pain rather than this diarrhea. So one or other, some problem in life is going to be there. The body is sukha dukkha bhoga ayatana. It's an abode for jivatma to go through sukha as well as dukkha. It's okay. That's how the order was. That's how my prarabdha was. Like that, you have to resolve it. You have to accept it. Because that non-acceptance so far keeps surfacing it. And our inability to space ourselves away from it, you get carried away. That brooding, the dukkham keeps coming. And ultimately, that's complaint. Why me? I don't deserve this. I should not get it. Why they betrayed my trust, or why they did this to me? I was so fair and good and this and that. Okay, that is how it was. And that's how that person or that whatever it may be situation was in order, psychological order or whatever order. It was there. Fine. That Ishvara wanted me to go through it. Bring in Ishvara. Whenever such experiences come, bring in Ishvara in your psyche and resolve it, address it. You have to process it out. Therefore, so then it will stop surfacing also, and you will get some space. And good, you step out of your own personal needs and reach out and help others. That's good, but make sure that it's not an escapism to avoid those thoughts. Sometimes we keep watching TV or keep doing something, we don't want to face the mind. It's always good to contribute. It's always good to reach out, but not an escape. You have to resolve that. And if possible, do some meditations. Heart meditations are there, and that will resolve it. Okay? And then one bottom accepting, then is the order. Bring in the Ishvara and accept your own prarabdha. Being from the West and not coming from a religious background, I still have trouble seeing the connection between acknowledging the need for kripa to obtain moksha and the performing of rituals. Yeah. Connection, no one can see. Okay. It's the grace, what you call it, is adrashtaha, is unseen. And Puja Swamiji would say very nicely, I'll quote that later. You see, grace or krupa is something to be earned. It is not just given. Like, oh God, give us our daily bread. It is not giving the bread. You have to earn the krupa. And the grace is earned by living a life of dharma, by doing some punya karma, or by doing some prayers. You know what you say, for rituals or prayers is also a karma by itself. And these karmas help you to earn the grace. And what is grace? Swamiji would say this. The karma has its own karma phala. But what kind of karma phala? Very peculiar karma phala. That you got this mind to study. You got this attitude to have some shraddha on that. Even though born in the West, you had that openness to expose to the Shastra, Hindu Shastras. Even though from the West, you had an opportunity also to expose to the Shastras. That's just a grace. You may see so many people who are more religious, more steadfast in the values and attitudes and etc. But still, they don't get an opportunity to expose to Shastra, much less they have that mind to study the Shastra. That you have is certainly your own karma phala, but Swamiji would say it's graceful to call it grace. Not my karma phala, not I earned it. It's graceful that you got it. Nobody knows how and why, which combination brought you this. So, the grace has to be earned. What is grace for mumukshu? Two, three things. In a way, there are so many, but in a nutshell, I can say two, three things. One, that mumukshutvam, desire to know, desire to be free, and desire to study Shastra. It's just a grace. Secondly, to get a right teacher, a guru, who can teach the Shastra. I use the words teach, not who can speak Shastra. In India, there are so many gurus who speak Shastra. They talk about the Gita and they talk about Bhagavatam, but there is no communication. To get such a teacher is grace. And to have Shraddha one teacher and get an opportunity to study. Which karma phala brought you this? Only Bhagavan knows. Even Corona is a grace. At least for Mumukshu, that because of this, I'm able to take 2 classes at least a week regularly. So it is a grace is all the way. Okay? You may not see the connection of what brought this, but that you are led to this itself is a big grace. As though unseen hands has brought you to this, to the path of moksha. And to have a clean mind is a grace. To have a mind which can focus is also a grace. All this is grace. And as I said, it is to be earned. But it's graceful to call it grace. And to earn the grace, you need prayers. Okay? Not necessarily this ritual or that ritual. Prayers and seva with an attitude of surrender to Ishvara can also help you to gain necessary mindset for knowledge. After a year of study with you, I notice I am more aware of my likes and dislikes, and even thought they come across intensively. I can work with them so that I can be more accepting of challenging situations in my life, reminding myself that every single thing occurs according to Ishvara's law. So nice. That's what one needs to remind. Every single thing occurs according to Ishvara's law. And Ishvara himself is the law. Lawmaker is not separate from the very law. So that situation, the laws that molded the situation for you, is Ishvara's expression. So that situation that you face with is nothing but Ishvara. Whole world, Ishavasyam idam sarvam. And whatever unfolds to you situationally is Ishvara. And more you are becoming aware of likes and dislikes, it is because you have space available. More the mind is pure, more the mind is free, relatively free, more you can notice them. And more you notice, more you can process them. Self are not bad. Okay? That desire itself is not bad thing. Ambition itself is not bad thing. But to be carried away by them, that's a problem. The capacity to manage my likes and dislikes. One can never be free from likes and dislikes throughout the life. They're always there. Just Swamiji used to say, even Krishna had it. That's why he chose yellow color. That's why he chose peacock feather. He could have chosen many other feathers. There are varieties of feathers in this world. But he chose, why not pigeon, why not crow? If you think of that, crow feather would go better in contrast, yellow and black. Fashion wise, modern fashion. There will be there. But he managed. To manage one's own likes and dislikes means to become free from the holds of them. They are called they are called looters, Indriyasya indriyasya arthe ragadvesho vyavasthito tayorna vashamagacche tauhi asya paripanthi. For a seeker on the path of moksha, these are looters. They loot away what? Your wisdom. They loot away your peace of mind. They loot away your objectivity. They loot away the space that you have were created very arduously. It took years and years and constant processing that you got some space. They just loot away. And therefore, that you can observe itself is good, and that you can process them itself is a good sign. You can work with them, and seeing Ishvara will help you to grow out of their control. They are the masters as of now. Slowly you learn to be master of your likes and dislikes. Then there is nothing wrong in having likes and dislikes. I still need to work very hard to bring more service in order to deepen karma yoga in my life. I am always profoundly moved when I attend classes and see your generosity, openness, and unconditional giving that I so wish to embody someday. Don't worry, it's you. Okay? What you want to embody is you. More you own up the knowledge, all this will be natural. Okay? Because that fullness that you have discovered, that's the self. These are all the expression of knowledge, nothing else. These are all you can say, the expression of the self. The self is expressing in terms of compassion, in terms of openness, in terms of unconditional giving. Why? Because you don't need anything from others. So these are all manifestation of self. So keep studying, and I'm happy that this inspires you. First of all, you noticed it at a distance. So digital noticing is also something surprising to me. And you made it. And having noticed, it's good to be inspired, and it's also good to cultivate these values. But at the same time, more you will study, more they will become natural expression of yourself. Okay? So it's good that you have a resolve to work hard, but don't have a sense of low about yourself. I have to work hard. I have not done enough. I have to work hard. I have not done enough. I have to work hard. I have not done enough. No, it's okay. Whatever it is, you can work hard and do more. But more you own up, more you will manifest all this in your life as a natural expression. Namaste, Swamiji. Namaste. In terms of Yoga Shastra, attitudes and values, goals, etc., what has changed for you and how have you benefited from these changes? One, I am very privileged to be part of your study group, and it has been wonderful listening to you for the past years. The understanding of Vairagya, particularly on what I want to do versus what I am currently doing, this will be a continuous process for me. So nice. That's good. So, everything is a means. Please understand. Artha Kama Purushartha itself is not bad. But then to look upon them as an end, that's a problem. You know, it's like playing a game of business. Children have that game, business and other cards. Itself is innocent, benign. But then to look at it as ultimate goal of life, that's a problem. So also, if your prarabdha demands that you have to work for artha kama, situation being such, you have to do the job and you have to work, it's okay, do it. Nothing wrong in it. But then at the same time, know them, they are the means, what you call it as a vyavaharik satta. They are useful to conduct myself as long as I am alive, but that itself is not moksha. They are not the end. The end is self-discovery. And self-discovery or self-knowledge necessitates a proper frame of mind for the words to work. So you can pray that even though it's a means for samsara vyavahara, it's a means for moksha also, when done with a proper attitude of surrendering to Ishvara or working in the awareness of Ishvara, that helps you to gain proper frame of mind, which is required for pramanas to work. So that's a good thing to do. Which other changes would you like to bring for yourself? I cannot say I'm fully attentive, but I hope to get there. My workload, there you are. My workload and responsibilities fragment me a lot, and I find it's challenging to make times to focus. I would like to be able to apply the learnings from your class to simplify my responsibilities and workload. Well, the society in which you live, the country in which you work, it's very demanding. So when you are in the office, it's not 8 hours, that only 8 hours work, but you have to give 100 plus percentage of yourself during those 8 hours. There are all kinds of pressures from the colleague and the boss and the subordinates and the team members and all kinds of things. And they have to be very alert. It's like driving in Chandni Chowk, in Delhi. You, you don't hit anyone. There's no scratch on your car, nor you hit anyone. It's very demanding. So it's natural for the mind to get tired. Okay? Just as the body has its own limitations, so also the mind has its own limitations. In that limitation, as so more so when you age more, it becomes more weaker. So it's okay if you can't focus, or you cannot be so attentive, or you may feel sleepy also because it was so exhausting. Family responsibility, children, their future, and then not only finance but their own future and their lifestyles, etc., is a cause of big concern for parents in US because the societal infrastructure, societal values are diagonally opposite to our culture and our values. And you being born and brought up in India, that too in a traditional families, and you have to bring up children in another environment. And, and that too, if I use this word, you have to respect their freedom and then talk. In our time, it was just one or two, sadak over, and then you fall in line. So it's very tiring. It's okay. Whatever you can, do it. Even if feel sleepy, come, attend the class. Even if not focused, attend the class. Even if not fully attentive, attend. Whatever attention you can pay and that you have paid, it's okay. It will help you to gain some insight, whatever little. The process of growth or process of clarity may be slower, but it's always better to have, even if it is slower, rather than not having it all. This is how it is. Okay, accept, you have to accept, and therefore I keep telling to students in the West, come for the camp. When you come here and stay, fortunately, we have beautiful surroundings. And Mataji has really created a different atmosphere here. So that only makes you relaxed. And when you study here with that mind, you're 100% available in the study. Because inside there is no agenda to do, to address, to handle, to deal with, nothing is there. So it's always good to attend camps. If possible, fine. Otherwise, this also will pass away. Children will grow, they will be on their own, so financial responsibility will be less. You can afford to change the job or team or whatever, and have a job where you are fairly relaxed. You have both leisure, psychological and physical. Which other changes would you like to bring for yourself? And that her point is with reference to your vision of truth, what are your doubts and queries? I feel I am beginner here and need a lot of sadhana to introspect and realize what views are true and what should be filtered out. Your guidance here matters the most. Sorry, got late. It's okay. You might have started later. That's fine. And lot of sadhanas to be done. Yes, lot of things to be done, but we'll do it. Okay. Don't create a feeling that another area of pressure. Oh, I have to do so much of sadhana. I have to do so much of things. No. Whatever is done, therefore you got this. So be relaxed. Okay. And do what is to be done. A japa, if you've taken japa mantra or some time, half an hour, 15 minutes for exposing to class and note every day. that you do it. That's a more sadhana you need to do. And more studies. You should have quality times. It's not only weekend to weekend. You can have some time during the weekdays also. So it's a bit difficult in the beginning, but you just need to restructure your lifestyle. The more you restructure, more you get time. And once the children are grown up and got married, your responsibilities become less. And then you can take up a job which is less demanding, which is less devouring psychologically. So you can consider that. And realize what views are true and what should be filtered out. Your guidance here matters the most. It's okay. Always think in terms of Shastra. Whatever is approved by Shastra is true. And whatever is not approved needs to be filtered out. Okay? So that makes simple. And when you live a life of dharma, that opportunity will come by itself. Trust me, that works. Ishvara gives you that opportunity. Just have some patience. Let this pass away. Even this also will go. It's not going to hold more. Social responsibility, family, it will come to end one day. And you will have time also. Okay, there are two things and very long thing. So I think I'll skip it out for tomorrow. We'll have same thing continued. And let's do Shanti Pat. Om Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.